Tonight we have several breaking stories as we come on the air. The first involving President Trump. The Wall Street Journal tonight reporting that Attorney General Pam Bondi told President Trump that his name appears multiple times in the Jeffrey Epstein files. Also breaking tonight, there's been an officer ambush, the details just coming in. And in New York City, the suspect who police say placed improvised explosive devices around the city, one thrown right onto the subway tracks. First tonight, the Wall Street Journal now reporting Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy, Todd Blanche, told President Trump back in May that his name appears in the Jeffrey Epstein files multiple times. The Attorney General reportedly recommending to the president at the time not to release any more files and that the president deferred to the AG. How the Justice Department is now responding tonight. Also, the dramatic scene in court, raw emotion from family members and what they told the killer in the Idaho college murders. Face to face from him in the courtroom today, one of the survivors speaking out, and what the father of one of his victims said to Bryan Kohberger, standing just feet away. Also tonight, the dangerous, life-threatening heat. Nearly 140 million Americans under dangerous heat alerts at this hour from Texas all the way up to the Northeast. Tonight in Chicago, it feels like 103, even hotter tomorrow. Cincinnati, Detroit 2, and New York City will soon feel like 105. Ginger Z is standing by. Tonight, the disturbing video showing a police officer accused of punching a black driver in the face during a traffic stop. Tonight, the sheriff in that community now calling the incident ugly. And Lindsay Davis tonight interviewing the driver. In New York City, the alarming discovery, a suspect accused of allegedly leaving at least 5 homemade bombs on rooftops across the city, and authorities say throwing one IED right out of the subway tracks. Tonight, the heartbreaking discovery, authorities finding the body of that missing student last seen leaving a bar. Her parents had pleaded for the public's help, and what authorities are now saying. Tonight, the alarming images in the water off the east coast of Florida. You will see this man attacked by a shark. And America Strong tonight. Every night here, we get story ideas from so many of you at home in hometowns across this country. Well, tonight, the idea came from my own hometown. We'll dive into, and we promise you'll be cheering along with that whole community tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight here with breaking news involving President Trump and the Jeffrey Epstein files. Tonight, the Wall Street Journal is now reporting that Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy Todd Blanche told President Trump back in May that his name appears in the Epstein files multiple times. Last week, when pressed by ABC's Catherine Faulders, the president denied that the Attorney General told him his name was in the files. The Attorney General reportedly recommending to the president at the time to not release any more files, and the president reportedly deferred to the Justice Department. And tonight, the Republican-led House Oversight Committee has now subpoenaed Jeffrey Epstein's former companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, who of course is serving a 20-year prison sentence. ABC's chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce leading us off tonight.
Tonight, the Wall Street Journal reporting that Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy Todd Blanche informed President Trump in May that his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files. They reportedly told Trump they did not plan to release the files, saying they contain child pornography and personal information about the victims. According to the Journal, the president said he would defer to their decision. Last week, when pressed by ABC's Catherine Faulders, Trump denied Bondi told him his name was in the files.
What did she tell you about the review? And specifically, did she tell you at all that your name appeared in the files?
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing. And in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen.
The next day, I asked him,
is your name in these files, Mr. President? Is that why they aren't being fully released? Let's go.
The Journal reports Trump was told there were other high-profile names in the documents, noting being in the files is not evidence of wrongdoing. Tonight, the Attorney General saying nothing in the files warranted further investigation or prosecution, adding as part of our routine briefing, we made the president aware of the findings. Trump and Epstein were friendly for more than a decade, socializing in New York and Palm Beach. Epstein was asked about their relationship in a 2010 deposition in a civil suit.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump said they'd had a falling out and hadn't spoken in 15 years. During the campaign, some of the president's top supporters, including his current FBI director, Kash Patel, and Patel's deputy, Dan Bongino, spread ominous conspiracy theories about the Epstein case. Vice President J.D. Vance called for the release of Epstein's so-called client list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
In February, Bondi said that client list was in her possession.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
But over the July 4th weekend, the Justice Department and the FBI said the list doesn't exist and that they wouldn't be releasing any more information about Jeffrey Epstein. Under pressure, the president later instructed Bondi to ask courts in Florida and New York to release grand jury testimony in the Epstein case. Today, a Florida judge denied that request, saying the DOJ didn't provide enough of a justification for releasing that sensitive testimony, adding the court's hands are tied. Tonight on Capitol Hill, Republicans and Democrats on a House Oversight Committee voting to subpoena the Justice Department to release the full Epstein files. Hours earlier, the full committee issuing a subpoena to Epstein's former companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence for child trafficking. And David Maxwell is also planning to meet with the Deputy Attorney General soon. Asked tonight about that congressional subpoena, her attorney saying that upcoming meeting with the Justice Department will, quote, help inform how she proceeds. And again, it's important to note Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence and is looking for a way to get out. David.
Mary Bruce leading us off at the White House tonight. Mary, thank you. We're going to turn in the meantime to the dramatic and heartbreaking scene in court today, the sentencing of Bryan Kohberger in the Idaho college murders case. Raw emotion from family members face to face with the confessed murderer. What one father said to him just feet away in that courtroom. And then what happened when the judge gave Bryan Kohberger an opportunity to speak. Kayna Whitworth was in the courtroom in Idaho.
On this final judgment day, convicted killer Bryan Kohberger forced to face the families of his victims and a survivor of his vicious attack, killing 4 college students near the University of Idaho. Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle. Kaylee's father moving the podium to look directly at the man he says stabbed his daughter 34 times.
We are here to finish what you started. Today, you've lost control. Today, we are here to prove to the world that you picked the wrong families.
Kohberger showing no reaction as he listened to the gut-wrenching testimony from victims.
Dylan, just take your time, all right?
Dylan Mortensen, one of 2 roommates who survived the rampage, speaking for the first time, overcome with emotion as she described her trauma.
I couldn't be alone. I had to sleep in my mom's bed because I was too terrified to close my eyes. Terrified that if I blinked, someone might be there. I made escape plans everywhere I went. If something happens, how do I get out?
It was Dylan who saw a masked man, later identified as Kohberger, walk right past her that night.
He is a hollow vessel, something less than human. A body without empathy, without remorse. He chose destruction. He chose evil. He feels nothing. He tried to take everything from me. My friends, my safety, my identity, my future. He took their lives, but I will continue trying to be like them to make them proud.
To avoid the death penalty, Kohberger pleaded guilty to stabbing the 4 students to death in that off-campus house. The murders sending shockwaves across a college town and the country. And today, the victims' parents remembered the young lives full of so much promise.
Maddie was my only child that I ever had. She's the only great thing I ever really did, and the only thing I was really ever proud of.
Xana's mother saying she's ready to forgive.
This forgiveness has released me from any and all evil you have inflicted on me and my family.
But most family members lashed out at Kohberger in anguish and anger.
You're going to go to hell.
The Gonzalez family, who wanted the death penalty today, openly mocking the former PhD criminology student.
You're pathetic. You aren't special or deep, not mysterious or exceptional.
Kaylee's sister hammered Kohberger one last time with the questions he's never answered.
Where is the murder weapon? The clothes you wore that night? What were Kaylee's last words?
And she tried getting under his skin.
If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your ass. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prosecutors then asking for 4 life sentences without parole, showing that final photo taken just 12 hours before the murders. Crying heard in the courtroom.
All right, Mr. Kohberger, you have an opportunity to make a statement if you wish to. I take it you are declining.
I respectfully decline.
Kohberger declined to speak or reveal a motive before the judge gave him life behind bars with these blistering parting words.
A faceless coward breached the tranquility of 6 beautiful young people and senselessly slaughtered them, 4 of them. The person that slithered through that sliding glass door at 1122 King Road now stands before the world and this court unmasked. No parent should ever have to bury their child. In my view, the time has now come to end Mr. Kohberger's 15 minutes of fame.
Outside the courthouse, the Gonzalez family ready to move forward.
I made eye contact with him and he was enraged. He was just enraged. So, mission accomplished. We can move on now. We said what we needed to say.
And David, while they want to move forward here after almost 3 years and everything these families have been through, they still don't have basic questions answered, like what was the motive? David?
Kayna Whitworth tonight. Kayna, thank you. We turn now to the extreme heat. Nearly 140 million Americans on alert right now, from Dallas to Chicago to New York City. Life-threatening heat. In Chicago, it feels like 103. Tomorrow, even warmer. New York City could soon feel like 105. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. She's tracking it all. She's live in Chicago, a city she knows well. Hi, Ginger.
Yes, hey there, David. So yes, I know it well, and it rarely gets this hot. So we felt like 103 at peak today. It'll be even hotter tomorrow. Heat advisories go all over the map, but you can see tomorrow's extreme heat warning right down the Mississippi River from Paducah to Baton Rouge and New Orleans. The feels like there could be as high as 115. But we'll slide this east because an excessive heat watch is now up for Philadelphia. And look at the number for New York City on Friday itself, 104, 105 for Baltimore. We are going to break this heat up a bit. It's going to come with a cold front. Here it'll break up on Friday, but that cold front making damaging wind and even tornado warnings from Nebraska up to Wisconsin, David.
Ginger Z with us again tonight. Ginger, thanks as always. In the meantime, next tonight, the disturbing video showing a police officer accused of punching a black driver in the face during a traffic stop. Tonight, the sheriff in that community now calling this incident ugly. Lindsay Davis tonight interviewing the driver. And here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. A warning now, it is disturbing.
Tonight, the Jacksonville sheriff acknowledging that this video showing his deputy smashing a car window and punching the driver in the face is ugly.
Show me your hands.
Yet another incident raising questions about excessive force and race and policing.
Step out now. All right.
22-year-old William McNeil Jr. today appearing with his parents and attorneys to discuss what happened on February 19th during a routine traffic stop. Police claiming that he didn't have his headlights on in inclement weather, that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Allegations that McNeil disputes.
There's no rain. It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on. Can you call your supervisor? Huh? Can you call your supervisor? All right, go for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
McNeil, who remains calm despite the powerful punch and does not fight back, is pulled out of his car as the officer delivers another punch. Officers demanding he show his hands. Court records show that McNeil pleaded guilty to resisting arrest without violence and driving with a suspended license. Police claim that he reached for a knife on the floor of his car, but body camera footage released by the police does not show McNeil reaching for a knife. McNeil speaking with our Lindsay Davis just moments ago in an interview airing on Prime.
What went through your mind at that moment when the deputy broke your window and punches you in the face as you sit in the car?
I was surprised. I was scared. I grew up being told that officers protect us, but that wasn't the case.
The officer who smashed the window and punched McNeil has been stripped of law enforcement duties pending an internal review. David.
All right, Pierre Thomas reporting live from Washington tonight. Pierre, thank you. You can see more of Lindsay's interview with the driver of that car on ABC News Live Prime later tonight. In the meantime, we turn now to the alarming discovery in New York City, a suspect accused of allegedly leaving 5 homemade bombs across Manhattan. Federal authorities say Michael Gann made at least 7 devices, stashing some of them on rooftops in Soho. He allegedly tossed one of the devices onto the subway tracks along the Williamsburg Bridge. The FBI tonight saying he had one of the devices on him when he was arrested. No word on a possible motive. Tonight, there's late word of a police ambush in Lorain, Ohio, outside Cleveland. The images coming in now. Authorities say a heavily armed gunman opening fire on 2 officers in their patrol vehicles. A 3rd officer was wounded, responding to their call for help. Authorities say the suspect was laying in wait. The gunman was shot and killed in an exchange of gunfire. 2 officers are in critical condition at this hour. When we come back tonight, startling images this evening. You'll see the moment a shark attacks here in the east. Also, what we've learned tonight, the heartbreaking discovery after that student went missing. Her parents had pleaded for help. And a driver barreling right into a church. What police are now saying about this moment, right after the break. Tonight, authorities say they have found the body of a missing grad student in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Elliot Hines' body was pulled from the Mississippi River. Reported missing Sunday after leaving a bar. Police say they are awaiting autopsy results. Her mother tonight thanking volunteers who helped. An out-of-control car crashing into a church in Fayetteville, North Carolina. The car careening across the parking lot, smashing right through the front door. Police say the car was stolen. The driver and passenger trying to escape police. The driver has been arrested. When we come back here tonight, the alarming video you'll see at the moment a diver is attacked by a shark here in the east. And America Strong tonight, the idea that came in from my hometown. To the Index, alarming video tonight showing a diver bitten on the arm while surrounded by sharks off Jupiter Beach, Florida. The diver in the center of the screen there says he was bitten on the arm by a lemon shark after removing a fishing net stuck on its head. That diver receiving 40 stitches. When we come back here tonight, every night, we get so many ideas from all of you at home for America Strong. Well, tonight, the idea comes in from my own hometown. Finally tonight here, we go for a swim. 32,000 strokes, 16 miles, 9 hours straight. She's America Strong, and she's also a little close to home. Every night here, we hear from so many of you at home, hometowns across this country, with ideas for America Strong. In the last 24 hours, we heard from many of you in my own hometown. Tonight here, the story of a young swimmer, Rachel DeWitt, and what she's now done to help raise awareness for America's lakes, to keep them pristine and to preserve them, including the one closest to her heart, Skaneateles Lake, one of the Finger Lakes in central New York. Rachel learned to swim in the lake. She was on the Skaneateles High School varsity swim team. It's even a town tradition, jumping into the lake with your cap and gown on graduation. Rachel then earning degrees in environmental science and marine biodiversity, now working for the nonprofit Ocean Conservancy. Rachel came up with an idea, how to raise money for the Skaneateles Lake Association, working to keep the water clean here and to bring awareness to America's lakes, challenging herself to swim the entire length of Skaneateles Lake, 16 miles. For more than a year, training for the longest swim of her life, her parents right there with her as she practiced in the morning. Her dad, Bob, following Rachel in the boat. Her mom, Terry, part of the team of kayakers guiding her.
Love you!
Just this week, Rachel was ready.
Go, Rachel!
At sunrise, she was off. Along the way, so many from the community cheering her on. Children waving to her. 10 miles in, the campers at Lourdes Camp, cheering 6 miles to go. And after 9 hours and about 32,000 strokes, Rachel did it. And right here tonight,
hi, David.
Rachel on why she did it.
This lake really made me who I am and made me care about water conservation. I hope that folks find a little bit of inspiration from my swim.
Congratulations, Rachel. 16 miles, 9 hours. The rest of us are exhausted for what you've done to bring attention to America's lakes. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 3rd year in a row.